And I'm going to try to record this in landscape. I don't know if I can flip that around easily with the computer or not. We'll find out afterwards. What you're looking at here is the control program for my laser engraver. What I've got drawn up here is a box. Now, I typically make these boxes out of printed paper and corrugate, cardboard, and then they're cut out and folded and glued. So what I'm trying to do now is cut it out of wood. So we've got different layers here. I'm just going to turn off a couple here. So I got the image, which is the graphics. These are going to be engraved. Hopefully they'll look like this in black and white onto the board. And then I got the cut line, which is this one, which is the actual shapes that are going to make up the box. And you can see if you get up close that they have intermittent grooves, which should line up with these parts down here for the sides, and that would be the back. And then I got a couple of the guidelines here, which I'm not going to cut, but you can see this. I just drew a box around this, and that's a 12 by 12 box, so that represents the size of my board, which is over here. So this is 12 inches by 12 inches. And I'm going to go and try to cut that now over the next couple hours, see how long it takes. I have no idea. I think this can do about 18 inches by 18 inches, maybe a little bit bigger. So we'll see the result in a little while. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the thing is aligned to my board. So right down here, there's an option to do a frame. So remember, I'm doing a 12 by 12, and I've drawn a box, which is right there. You can see the box just slightly in brown. Goes out and around what I'm using. I've already predetermined where this is. And now I'm going to do a frame just to make sure that the laser actually traces that and doesn't go any further outside of it. So you click on the frame button here. It asks me to continue. I'm going to run over here. And you can actually see it. There's a little laser light. So that goes right along the edge of the maximum of where it's going to cut. So now I know it's not going to go outside of there. So initial cutting is doing the bottom of one of those sides of the box. It's going to go back and forth several times because you've got to cut through 2 millimeters of wood. It's not a super powerful laser, so this one, some of them can do it probably in one pass. But this is just a starter kit, so it's not going to be that powerful. You can smell the burning wood, but it's not unpleasant. Just a mid engrave update. I started drawing the graphics. It'll cut out the shapes last, which is what it should do, because otherwise the shapes might move around a little bit, potentially, because it will cut out first. And so far it's legible, so we'll see what it looks like when it's done. It's now cutting the shape. It's finished the image rendering. Image rendering is a little darker than I would like. I think I'll figure that out over time, but it is legible. I'll see if there's some way to improve that a little bit with some hand painting, but otherwise I'll just have to adjust the settings before I do another one. Probably got about an hour left on the cutting now. Just pure cutting from here out. See if we're doing one segment and then move into the next one. It's not doing a continuous line. There's a little gap, and then you can see the light blink out. Alright, so finished cutting and burning. Again, all this stuff you got to adjust it. So this is the first real go at it. Some of these are cut all the way through. Some of them are not cut all the way through. So if I flip it over, you can see the thickness of the board is not very thick. You can see the board down below. It made a bit of a mess from the burn through, but it's not cut because it's like a masonite or something. I found. So you can see some of them are completely cut, and you can actually separate. You can actually separate that, and some of them are not cut all the way through. So I might have to do a little bit of manual cutting to finish it up. But otherwise, it's most of the way through. So from this side, it's probably cut 3/4 of the way through at least. Probably won't be that much trouble to get to finish it up neatly. The thing come out about 75% of the way out. Nice and clean on some edges. Over here it's sticking a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm taking an X-Acto knife and I'm just going to cut these little edges just by stabbing it through a little bit. So anything that didn't quite burn all the way through comes through. Just a few spots that didn't quite work towards the far edges. So I probably should have done 2 passes with the laser on this, and rather than just a single pass. I think the double pass would have definitely went all the way through. It did go all the way through in about 75% of them, but because the wood is of a slight curve, the laser doesn't hit exactly focused on every part. So towards the outer edges, if I flip it over, again, you see all the ones on the inside cut real clean. But when you get to the outer edges, it can go, and if there's a bit of a curve to the wood, just slightly. See it right there? So I got to tape it down a little bit better next time. I'm actually finding it's a little easier to work on the reverse side from the burn side, because I can follow. If I can't see, I can use this side here, but I can't get all the way through unless I come around to the other side and I just cut. Anything that's not fully cut, just with a little knife. It takes a little bit of patience, but you don't get into this if you don't have patience. I've now reassembled the parts now that they've all been cut out, and I've actually, for the moment, used packing tape to put the joints together. And once it's assembled, I may wood glue it. I'm going to see how it turns out. See, I can easily flip it around now, and now I'm going to try to assemble it. And we have a final result here. This is the box. Put together reasonably well. These joints were hard to put together. I glued everything, but I think I would just do a flat cut on those edges for next time. But the end result overall is a decent box.